You're watching the Brotherhood of Gaming podcast show, the only video game show that's not afraid to call itself a worldwide success after having only had 5 episodes. I'm your host, William Morris.
I'm Eugene Morris.
And I'm Clayton Arnold.
So tell us, guys, it's right now, February 15th, 2014. What has been going on as of late in current video game news? Before we answer that, what's been going on inside the Brotherhood of Gaming? What have we been doing?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what we've been doing. We've been attending anime cons, picking up new merchandise and the like. What have you gotten, Clayton? Tell us about it.
I got little Mega Man plushie here, courtesy of this guy.
I was contemplating whether I was going to keep this or not for myself. It's a little Mega Man plushie built from Mega Man 10, actually, according to its tag that it was from.
Its tag.
And then I decided, you know what? It's been a long time since I got my buddy anything. I'll surprise him with a little Mega Man, but I tell you, it was a struggle because I really was considering keeping it for myself and sending him up Shit Creek without a paddle. But fortunately,
I appreciate it.
Fortunately, I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
What did you get, Gene?
Oh, sorry. Well, first off, I just want to say that we attended AnimeCon 3.0, which is a local anime convention that takes place here at Fresno, California. It takes place around the corner from me at a local mall, so it was cool. Yeah, I want to send a big shout out to our man Thor, who is the guy who organizes this whole thing. He has a shop called TV.
Yeah, there's a little shop around the corner called.
I want to give shout outs, These are worked hard,
Yeah, called TV and Sports, and it's owned by one man, and his name is Thor. Awesome name, by the way. Could you imagine going home to your wife and your name was Thor?
His first name, I think, is actually Rick. It's Rick.
Take
Thor.
off thine
pants.
Rick Thor Fung, I think. I might be butchering the last name.
Anyway, he's an awesome guy.
He's an awesome dude, and they've done a great job. And it's a local thing.
It's recently started too.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the guy is that he's willing to work with you when it comes to. He has of course, we told you he has a little video game, or not video game, but a little anime shop called TV and Sports. It hosts in a whole bunch of different characters from anime's toys, cards, mangas. All of that really cool geeky stuff that anime nerds love to go over. And the guy's willing to work with you on prices. If you don't have enough money, he's willing to negotiate. You can haggle with him. And he's not a dick about it, which is really cool. The guy's a really nice guy. Big shout out to the TV and Sports. If you're ever in Fresno, definitely check it out. It's a pretty small place. It's a little crowded, but it's a lot of fun to dig through there because you never know what you'll find.
Where's it located at?
I'm not... I'll probably have to figure that out later.
Right.
Anyway,
by the way, I'm not a nerd. I'm a geek.
Whatever, man. Anyway, what merchandise did we pick up at the con today?
Well, first off, I got this nice little handmade little plushy 4-star Dragon Ball that was made by a good friend of ours.
Yeah, Kasha. I can't remember
her
name. Yeah, Kasha. She likes
Who is an awesome
Sushi Mini would be her Facebook page, I think. Unless you changed it.
She does great stuff, and she's an awesome cosplayer. And
she really is.
She made little things, and
she's a little vendor of herself. She manages to make like plushies of things that you can't really find anywhere else. I just because I wanted to support her work, I went out and bought a Doctor Who plushie, which is of the TARDIS that apparently Doctor Who rides in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, just to support her work, I was able to buy this off of her for $15, and I thought it was a pretty cool piece. I'm not even a big fan of Doctor Who, let alone a fan, but I will respect the fans, and I will give them their due.
Indeed.
It's a pretty cool piece. So
she's pretty solid with her work and very fair priced.
Yes.
So what else did we get at the con?
Well, since I'm such a huge mark for Ghost in the Shell, my favorite anime, I got these Ghost in the Shell playing cards, just a deck of cards, 52 cards, jokers, aces, there's ones, 2, 3, 4, 6s, whatever.
You know you're a nerd when your poker cards have a face on them.
I'm not a nerd. I'm not a nerd. I'm a geek. Get it right.
The cards come in a cool little book-like casing.
Yeah, they do.
They have official artwork on them. Yeah. Some of which is just concept art as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's lots of different shots from the movie, from the manga, just cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah, we do apologize in advance if you can't see the stuff and you happen to be listening to this in your car or anything like that nature. But that's just how it goes with podcasts. You just never know. Oh, what's last on your
Please
list?
blame Will. He's the guy who directs this whole thing. So anyway, also well, just to let you know, on the February 14th was my birthday, and for part of my birthday, I asked this great artist whose name is Borden Martian Cole. Sorry if I
Up and coming comic book.
he's a very talented artist.
Isn't
and
he at all the cons that we pretty much go to?
I believe so.
Pretty
And,
much. I mean,
always
it's a brilliant move because he has no competition.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He's an amazing artist.
He's an amazing artist. He has some wonderful stuff there of everything you could possibly think of. But he also, for like a small amount, he will draw a character for you right there
Pretty
in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and
That's awesome.
Anything that you want.
anything you want. And for me, he made Godzilla,
That is awesome.
the Japanese version of Godzilla.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice.
Now, last but definitely not least, was over at this AnimeCon, they also have to have a video game booth because why would you not? Now, over in this video game booth, they had an Atari 5200 complete with its box. Now, it's the same Atari 5200 that I have been eyeballing and looking at for months upon months at certain stores. So apparently, these guys run a network of stores and they're shuffling around their products. So I can clearly see that nobody's picking this up. So I'm not worried about it going anywhere. So finally, I break down and I'm interested in getting the Atari 5200 for novelty purpose, really, just because the video game collection is always ongoing and growing. So
This man bought an Atari 5200.
I know. So I haggle with the guy because I look at the price tag and it's about like going on $50, but I'm okay with that. I can afford it, but why not haggle? Why not play the game? So I talk with the guy. I get to know him. I get the first day of the con. I get into an argument with him about Dragon Ball Z. I won't explain any details. But over the course of the argument, we managed to make friends. I tell him about the site. We get in that sort of thing. And then the next day, then I bring up the Atari and then I haggle with him, and he's willing to go for it. So I managed. Long story short, I managed to talk him down from I think 50 down to 25. So I was able to pick up the Atari 5200 complete with controller, game, and box with artwork for the box, or what do they call these instruction manuals for the box? Good old fashioned football.
Hey.
I don't even care if it works or not. Just having it is something. So that is what has been going on behind the scenes with the Brotherhood of Gaming. But right now there has been a lot of video game news that has been floating around that I've been wanting to get my word upon, and probably you guys have too. But time has just not been on our side, and so much has been going on. And here, right now, we're going to cover it all. Starting with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Does anybody know the current recent events that has been transpiring?
No, this is actually new to me. So fill me in a little bit.
Well, do you know anything about Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes?
Ground Zeroes? No, I've never even heard it mentioned at this point.
Oh, wow. So you've been out of the loop for a while.
I've been out of the loop a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so starting, long story short, starting from back last year at E3, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes was pitched as going to be the Metal Gear Solid 5 title. And
okay, so Metal Gear Solid 5?
Essentially,
okay. Yeah. That I know a little bit about. Okay.
Unfortunately, though, one of the biggest flaws that it had early on was that Hideo Kojima did not allow David Hayter to return for the role.
Yeah, I knew about that.
And that was pretty much kind of one of the nails in the coffin that had turned everybody off and kind of got Kojima in that red spotlight. Because up till then, he was kind of like one of the only developers that hadn't really done anything wrong.
Then he went and fucked up.
Well, then he did this. What his reasons are, it's unclear, and it's his title, so he's able to do whatever he wants with it. But now, recent news has come up that the campaign, like the game, is going to be for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 3, and I think the Xbox 360 as well. DLCs aside, there are exclusive DLCs, but the biggest kick in the ass apparently for everybody is finding out that it's going to be only a 2-hour campaign with the price range going for $40 on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the PlayStation 3 and down, I think, range from somewhere around similar prices from $30. Now, the reason this is being so is because Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, or Metal Gear Solid 5 in general, has been worded by Kojima Productions to be so massively huge in every single department you can think of. Like, this game is supposed to be the magnum opus of Kojima's work, that it would be far too big, and it was going to take years to work on. Apparently, so I guess it's going to be 2 years before Metal Gear Solid 5 actually gets out. So Ground Zeroes serves as kind of the prelude story, hooking it up.
So basically, it's just a teaser for the game, more or less.
Yeah, the perfect comparison said by Kojima himself was that Ground Zeroes serves as kind of the tanker from Metal Gear Solid 2, while Metal Gear Solid 5 serves as the rest of the game being the plant with Raiden.
Okay, that actually makes more sense.
However, many are upset with that. Now, usually when you get like a 2-hour campaign, you pay around $5 or $10 if
I can understand the dispute.
But for $40 for a 2-hour campaign?
What's the extra stuff that comes with the game? I mean, it can't just be a 2-hour campaign if they're going to price it that much.
Now, if I can interject, the DLC, if I remember, for the PlayStation 4 is going to have an exclusive level where the graphics look like the PlayStation 1. But it plays like Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's going to look like PlayStation 1 all the way. The Xbox One exclusive downloadable content level is going to have kind of a flashback sequence where Raiden from Metal Gear Solid Rising goes back in time to wherever time this is taking place, and he's fighting aliens that are taking over the bodies of humans. And it doesn't work it doesn't work on Raiden because Raiden's a robot.
You mean like that one thing they did in that extra disc for Metal Gear Solid 3? All the little video spoofs about... One of them was Raiden constantly going back in time.
Probably.
I remember that one so distinctly because he gets murdered every time.
So that's what has gotten people fired up, is that it's just only 2 hours long. Now, my gripe about it is I don't really care so much for the price because with Metal Gear Solid, you're going to get quality content. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
However, I do agree that for 2 hours, this has got to be the best damn 2 hours of my life.
If you're going to pay that much, it's going to have to be.
Some people even have gone out of the way to say that even if this is the 2 best hours of my life when it comes to video games, $40 is a lot to ask for 2 hours.
20 to 30 is an okay price to ask for something like this. That's a pretty low price for new games coming out. That would be a low price. Now, for me, I wouldn't buy this for more than 20. Personally.
Your thoughts, Eugene?
I just think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how long this thing is. People are going to buy it. I think they could charge it at the full price of $60, and people are still going to buy it.
This is true.
Because it's kind of cynical to say this, but we just kind of live in that day and age where people need their video game fix, and companies can do whatever they want and charge as much as they want and have as little gameplay as possible. As long as you slap a brand, a title on there, people start going to run up and buy it. So.
Well, yeah, no doubt. When you support a product, or when you support your favorite franchise, you're going to go out and support it.
Well, it allows the companies to be exploitative. You know, why should they change? Because people are just going to rush out and buy them anyway. You know, it's kind of funny. It's like, I'm really mad at you. I don't like what I'm doing, but I'm going to buy it anyway because I want to know what's going on with the story. So,
unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that. Now, also going on Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is there is a collector's edition. I don't think it's out here, but over in Japan they have pretty much going on a $100 box set or something for Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Maybe $120. Now,
what does it come with? Like a figurine or something?
I have no idea, but
if it comes with a figurine, I can understand the price because those are expensive to begin with.
Comes with a soundtrack that has 3 tracks.
But also because apparently the reason why it was $40 is because, again, Metal Gear Solid 5 in itself is supposed to be enormous, really enormous, that it's supposed to be $100 game as opposed to what you would naturally pay for the price of a retail PlayStation 4
if they
game.
put it out for $100, they're not going to sell enough.
Which is why they split it up, or at least that was their excuse.
I mean, most games today range between 50 and 60 when they're just brand new. I mean, are they really going to try to put it out at $100?
They probably won't, because that's why you're paying $40 now, and you'll pay the rest later.
Yeah, I guess.
At least that's how I read it.
They're gonna get their money from the game.
Yeah, they're gonna get the money, but they're taking a pretty big risk with that.
And I do remember when I was wording with Quentin Flynn, and I was seeing the words from David that he wasn't exactly happy about the situation, and there was kind of a petition thing going on by David, and Quentin was backing him up to get him reinstated as Solid Snake. Now, I haven't heard anything from them about the subject in a while, so I don't know if Kojima has gotten back to him and said that we're doing this, we're going with this way. You may still be Snake later as a cameo or something, or we're just going in a different direction with the character.
Is that really true?
I don't know.
I really hope it's not, because I think it's kind of ridiculous for an actor.
Number
to make
5
attention
entails
about
Big Boss,
no,
right?
good.
As well, again.
Well, Big Boss wasn't played by David Hayter in Metal Gear Solid 4.
What I understand. So, which Snake is this game dealing with?
Big Boss.
Okay, then honestly, I can understand why David Hayter's not being cast.
That's what I thought. But at the same time, people backed it up by saying, but the Japanese voice actor stayed the same.
Okay, that's the Japanese voice actor. Honestly, they should get the same voice actor they did for Metal Gear Solid 4 for him, for Big Boss. Perhaps, maybe not the exact, but someone that sounds similar. Someone a little bit younger. I don't think David Hayter would be a good role for that.
Well, regale me.
Well,
Convince
figure
me.
how old he sounded at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. He
Well,
sounded like a guy in his 50s or 60s.
Well, he had to sound old. I mean,
Yeah.
he was playing an old Snake.
Yeah, but he didn't look that old now, did he?
Well, have you seen David Hayter? He's not that old.
I'm not talking about David Hayter. I'm talking about Big Boss. Well, they should just reuse that voice actor. I don't know the names of the voice actors, but honestly, they should keep the same voice actor for the same character. I understand that. I know David Hayter was used for number 3, right?
David Hayter was Snake, period, until Big Boss appeared at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, how long does Metal Gear Solid 5 take place after 3?
I'm going to go on a limb, and I might be wrong, but I think it's in the 70s.
He would have definitely aged enough to change his voice.
Maybe.
That's why I'm somewhat okay with this.
Some people say that your voice never changes. Your appearance does. Your voice never changes.
Your voice is going to change as you get older. I guarantee it.
Yeah, well, interesting as that topic is, we have to move on. You guys can tell us below your thoughts about Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. We're going to move on next. Little Mac has made an appearance in Super Smash Bros. 4 for the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
Boys, your thoughts?
No longer a Smash trophy.
I think it's fun. I saw him in there. He looks like he's a very fast character. Keep close. Multiple combos. I think he's going to be a fun character to play as.
I like him because he's not going to be a clone character. Like the rest.
Yes, I agree. Remember back in Super Smash Bros. Melee, as amazing as that game was, you gotta admit, every character that was practically unlockable was just either a faster or slower character of the one that we have.
Had Toon Link and Link. We had Mario and Luigi. We had Marth and Roy.
You had Pikachu and
Captain Falcon.
Pikachu and Pichu. You had Fox and Falco.
Yeah.
Mario, Dr. Mario.
And we got a third clone with Fox and Falco. We got Wolf. But he's not
Wolf,
as much
Wolf fought different enough.
Wolf fought different enough, but he's still somewhat of a clone.
I mean, Wolf was more of a powerhouse than he was a tactician.
Yeah, but that's also like comparing Ganondorf and Captain Falcon.
Yeah,
mind you, those two had the same exact moveset, but Little Mac is going to add a little bit different strategy to the mix.
Now, the first thing I read when Little Mac came into the scene, and this has been pretty common ever since Mega Man was announced. Oh, this character's going to be so OP. This character's broken as all hell. Look at how he moves. Oh, people are going to spam this character. He can't be played right. He's just going to look at that, man. He's even got like a power bar over his health. He could just Falcon punch you out of the level. This guy's going to be so OP. Everybody's been saying that about ever since Mega Man showed up with all the powers that he's got. When Rosalina showed up with her powers and Luma, people were saying, "Oh, that Star Luma's going to wreck the game." Everybody knows it. She's just going to be spamming that Luma. She's so OP.
Now, I haven't seen videos of Little Mac, but what's his up B going to be? I mean, that's everyone's recovery move for the most part.
It is in the trailer. I forgot what it is, but I think it's an uppercut.
That's going to be awkward to see in the air.
I don't think so. Like, he can pull the Shoryuken, I'm sure.
That's what...
He's got uppercut. He's got a white... Like, if you watch the trailer, he's pretty fast.
I'm going to have to watch the trailer. I knew he was put in. I just haven't been able to find time to watch all the trailers and stuff that have been coming out.
Like, I give Little Mac the benefit of the doubt. Like, I've played Punch-Out. It's a fun game, but honestly, I didn't think he would be able to do much. But his trailer surprised me. Like, he's fast.
Yeah.
He can move around. He can dodge roll. He can move to the side. he's got a lot to work with.
If they can find an offensive maneuvering set for Wii Fit Trainer, then you
I'm excited for the Wii Fit Trainer. I mean, really.
Now, I might be one of the minorities out there, but I was pretty excited to see the Wii Fit Trainer, whereas a lot of people were actually opposed. They thought of it as a one hell of a throwaway character. Like, this was not what people were expecting.
She's going to be different.
She's going to be different. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because a lot of people...
I'd rather have a bunch of different characters than have half the roster throw Hadoukens.
I agree.
But a lot of people have been talking about like what they want to see. Like a lot of people want to see like Simon Belmont. They want to see like Knights since they got Sonic. They want to see Snake return.
Knights wouldn't make sense because Knights was only on Nintendo Wii. If they're gonna do that, they have to, I think, go with more classic characters. If they're gonna invite third-party characters in here,
I can see.
I think
them
Sonic
doing
is
Simon, but
Sonic's basically a Nintendo character nowadays anyway. So
pretty much,
I can't argue with it.
Yeah,
as hard as that is to admit,
it is hard to admit because I grew up with Sega personally. I
was one of the benefits.
I preferred Sega over Nintendo growing up.
I was one of the children that was fortunate enough to grow up with both a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo all the way, so I didn't have to join the side of...
See, I grew up with the NES and the Sega Genesis, and the Sega Genesis won out hands down. For me, anyways.
Yeah, because for me, if I felt like playing Street Fighter 2, I would play that, and then all of a sudden I would switch that off, and I would put in like Golden Axe, or if I'd put
Golden Axe,
or maybe I would put on like Streets of Rage, and then I'd finish playing that, and then I would pop in Zelda.
Streets of Rage. I want to see that be brought back.
Yeah, so Little Mac, he has made an appearance in Super Smash Bros. 4. I cannot wait to get my hands on him. He looks like a lot of fun.
They should make a Sega beat 'em up. Sega, featuring just Sega characters.
That would be interesting.
You know, they can, considering that they have already made a numerous amount of party games. We got Sega All-Stars Tennis. We got Sega All-Stars Racing Transform. Mm-hmm. They've got a ton of characters from...
They could do a fighting game.
Like, we're talking about the Sonic franchise. We've got Knights. We've got Monkey Ball. We've got Streets of Rage. We've got Altered Beast. We've got Golden Axe. We've got Shenmue. We've got...
Star Guy. That Star Guy.
Oh, Rystar.
Rystar,
yeah. Like Sega's got a ton of mascots that we're just not seeing anymore. Rocket Knight.
I would love.
Well, Rocket Knight is Konami, but
he's pretty much a Sega exclusive for the most part.
Kinda.
I mean, you didn't really find his games on any other console.
He does have a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, but wasn't it only the first one?
I have no.
No, because go on.
Jack Cayman.
That'd be awesome. Enough said. Yeah, and speaking of Jack Cayman, another character that's relative to Jack Cayman, in a way, has actually been really wanted and does fit for being in Super Smash Bros. Bayonetta.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of talk about that one. Yeah. I haven't heard a lot of negative about that.
Everybody's been positive. Like, they want to see Bayonetta in this game.
What kind of negative have you heard?
Huh?
What kind of negative have you heard?
I haven't heard anything negative at all. I mean, I've been looking through a lot of comments on Facebook as I see it come up, and everything's just all positive about people wanting it.
And it makes sense right now since Nintendo has...
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, since Nintendo has produced Platinum Games to allow Bayonetta a sequel on their console, and only their console. Now... Moving on from Super Smash Brothers, all of you guys can leave a comment below. Tell us your thoughts on Little Mac appearing in Super Smash Brothers. Who do you want to be in Super Smash Brothers? We want to know. Let's share thoughts, because you know when you're not getting down and when you're not razzling in Super Smash Brothers, you're missing out.
Ryu?
Really?
Well, he went with the classic.
Okay. Now, this one is more of a fan response rather than an issue to discuss. Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. Any thoughts on that one before I go in?
I'm going to stay away from that one because I'm not too happy with the 13 series.
Now, one thing that was pretty funny is one of the... It seems like Square is kind of trolling at this point. Not saying that Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns and all that stuff is bad. If you like it, that's great. But some of their tactics are pretty funny because what I'm pretty sure you both will be able to tell me this. What is the number one game that Square Enix has that fans for years have been begging for to be remade.
Final Fantasy 7.
Now, one of the DLC costumes...
Isn't it a pre-order exclusive?
It might be. For Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is she gets a Cloud costume complete with Buster Sword. It's kind of a tease at this point.
That's not the only DLC she gets.
Yes,
there.
I know. I'm about to bring that up. Now, what is one of the games that saved Square Enix and made it a lot of money, even though they didn't think so at first? Basically, it was a game to clean up the mess that Final Fantasy was making. Well, I'll answer it for you. Tomb Raider, come on! Now, they finally acknowledged Tomb Raider's success, which is awesome, because that means they care. Now, in light of doing so, they have also made a Lara Croft DLC costume for Lightning, complete with battle scars and a giant axe from Tomb Raider. That is pretty cool. If anything, I would play it just to see that in action.
Yeah, but this 13 series is starting to bug me. It's starting to drag on like Final Fantasy 7 dragged on.
So are you saying you wouldn't support Final Fantasy 15 for taking place in the same universe?
Final Fantasy 15 no longer takes place in the same universe.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They excluded it from the set. That was announced a little while ago. But that's why it's taken them 6 years to develop this game. There is so much being thrown into it.
Oh, good call.
Yeah. They broke it off from the Fabula, whatever you wanted to call it. I don't remember the full name.
Anyway, my response to it was people were asking me if I had any interest to play it or do a playthrough of it. And I got
He does.
I didn't say that. Now,
You already bought it.
I didn't say that either. Actually, no. As of right now, I really don't.
And all the DLC.
I'm not crazy now. Now, I haven't...
Final Fantasy 2. 13 2.
13 2? Now, that's the thing. I don't want to play this game before I play Final Fantasy 13 2. But what I am excited for in Final Fantasy 13 2 is there's an easy mode. Thank you. Call me a pussy if you want. That game is freaking hard. All right, next on the list. Oh, okay, this is a big one that I wanted to discuss.
You didn't even ask my opinion on Final Fantasy 13.
We don't know your opinion on Final Fantasy 13. I hate it. All right, what is your opinion on Final Fantasy 13?
No.
All right. Next on our list, going on.
Okay, since you asked so nicely.
Good, I was waiting for it.
I have never seen a company try so hard to push a game and make it successful.
Jane, allow me to introduce you to Microsoft and Halo.
I think Halo's a lot more popular than Final Fantasy 13. It's just that it just seems like to me that the Final Fantasy, the first one, had such a lukewarm response, but it's like, oh shoot, we're already done developing the second, and we're already starting on the third one. Shoot, we just got to go ahead and go with it.
Yeah.
Darn it, they're gonna like this game because we said.
You know what? You little asses want your Final Fantasy VII remake? Make this game sell. Give us all of your money for this game, and I swear to God, we will not only give you Final Fantasy VII, we will blow you.
It looks like a fun game. You know, if you're into that sort of thing, but I don't know, I'm just not. So
now, Final Fantasy 13, I think, has kind of going back to Final Fantasy 13, has got like I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but you know what? Final Fantasy has kind of got to move on from its turn-based battle system. Now, back in the day, it was kind of all we had to work with. The only
problem with moving away from the turn-based is that it's no longer going to be Final Fantasy. They tried that with Tactics. It did somewhat well, but that's why it's the Tactics series.
But just because it moves away from the Final Fantasy formula that we had to grow up with, which, by the way...
They did that with 12.
Final Fantasy... Well, a lot of people... 12 has kind of a mixed response from what I hear. Some people love it, some people hate it. But you know what? That's all video games. Not everybody's going to like the same video game, period. So let's get off of that mindset.
Yeah.
So... Just because you move away from a certain formula, going back to the late 80s to early 90s, RPGs really couldn't be developed other than turn-based until Tales of Fantasia came and changed that game. But again, that was better technology and that was a better time.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Everyone loves Resident Evil 4. Everyone.
What?
That's a topic for another day.
Everyone.
But yeah, Star Ocean, Final Fantasy... We're kind of doing that thing. There were exceptions like Soul Blazer. Soul Blazer did do things differently. But just because you move from a formula doesn't mean you're immediately set for doom.
This is true. But it's a big risk that the company would have to be prepared to take.
But because look at what happened with Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, so apparently the creator had all of a sudden just given up. He's pulling Flappy Bird off the shelves or off the App Store. And he's gonna. I see it as nothing more as as a marketing campaign to make it aware. Because look how much attention Flappy Bird has gotten over the news. And so I think that once he decides to bring it back, should it happen, he's gonna get a ton of more money than he has just on a regular basis.
Maybe, but right now, have you seen what the phones with Flappy Bird are selling for?
Exactly, that's another kind of
$1,500.
Yeah, people have gotten desperate for money to the point where now they're selling their app. They're selling their iPhones with Flappy Bird installed onto them for enormous amount of prices,
and they're actually selling.
Which is weird considering that
the one that's $1,500 has already had 5 or 6 bids on it when I saw it.
That is crazy, man. But yeah, we've also got
So
there's Flash
clones.
games. Yeah, there's clones being made. I'm sure you can get Flash or on Newgrounds. Somebody's made a clone of this game that's fully playable.
Even the MMO that I've been playing, Warframe, now has a mini game version of Flappy Bird.
So I really don't see the big craze over Flappy Bird.
I've played it. It's a stupid,
but
game.
it's easy and it's casual and it's cheap, which is
it's
playable.
Easy at first, but the clones of it are just stupid hard.
Is it addicting?
I couldn't get into it personally, and I like these kind of games, and I couldn't get into it. I don't see the big appeal for it.
What is your opinion on the marketing for Flappy Bird or lack thereof?
I really have no opinion on this whatsoever.
It's a phone game.
It's a phone game. All I know about phone games is my little out-of-date Star Wars Angry Birds.
Well, guys, as fun as it always is, you've been watching the Brotherhood Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, William Morris.
I'm Eugene Morris.
And I'm Clayton Arnold.
Be sure to watch our podcast next time. You can always download an MP3 below, and we will be there for you always. Keep on gaming, viewers. We love you.